Hello, welcome to Chapter 8, Module 153, the Introduction to the CPT. CPT stands for Current Procedural Terminology. Let's watch this little video. So, what are the uses of the CPT manual? CPT codes are used to describe tests, surgeries, evaluations, and any other medical procedure performed by a healthcare provider on a patient. As you might imagine, this code set is extremely large and includes the codes for thousands upon thousands of medical procedures. CPT codes are an integral part of the billing process. CPT codes tell the insurance payer what procedures the healthcare provider would like to be reimbursed for. As such, CPT codes work in tandem with ICD codes to create a full picture of the medical process for the payer. This patient arrived with these symptoms, which is represented by the ICD-10 code book, which we will get into, but we're not there yet. And we perform these procedures represented by the CPT code book, which is what we're learning right now. CPT, Current Procedural Terminology. The CPT was developed by the AMA in 1966. It's updated in November for the use on January the 1st. It's divided into category 1, 2, and 3 codes. What is the purpose of assigning a code to a procedure or service? It allows healthcare providers to communicate efficiently and effectively with third-party payers, which is the insurance, about the services and procedures provided to their patients. The CPT HCPT codes are used to identify procedures, services, supplies, drugs delivered as part of patient care. The diagnosis codes provide the diagnostic justification for the delivery of these services. So CPT codes are what we're going to do on the patient. It's what the doctor's actually doing. There are levels of service codes for CPT. Level 1 CPT codes used to identify services and procedures delivered by a physician to describe health care services. Then you have your level 2 national codes used by providers to report services, supplies, and equipment not covered in the CPT codes. We're going to learn about that in Chapter 9. Why are alphanumeric codes used instead of verbal descriptions of disorders or procedures? Now, I don't know if you've wondered this. Well, why do we have to assign a code to something? Why can't we just send the insurance company the records? Well, let's find out why. Coding allows for greater standardization and simplification of the process of interpreting medical diagnostic and treatment information. Coding makes processing more efficient. Coding permits Coding permits Coding permits compilation of statistics related to diseases, disorders, and treatment protocols. And this ensures no information is lost. Sorry about that hiccup, guys. Why codes? Computers understand numbers, and specific descriptions are attached to each code. So how many digits are included in a Category 1 CPT code? 5. The majority of CPT codes are referred to as Category 1 codes. What are the 6 main divisions in Category 1 of the CPT manual? Evaluation and management, anesthesia, surgery. Surgery is the largest section of the CPT book. Radiology, pathology and laboratory, and medicine. CPT codes allow for communication that is both effective and efficient. A mechanism to report a service not described by a specific CPT or Level 2 code. How are codes used for processing claim payments? Now, this is very important because, why is the doctor doing the procedure? Well, he wants to help his patient, but he also wants to get paid. So this is where a payment comes into play. Codes inform payers which services and procedures were performed or provided. Codes become the basis for payment of claims submitted, and codes are an ambiguous way to communicate. Codes expedite claim processing for faster reimbursements to providers. So we'll get into this a little bit more in the future, but I just want you to understand that, for example, let's use an E&M code of 99212. The doctor might get paid $75 for that. But if he assigns a 99214, he might get paid $175. So each code is going to carry a specific monetary amount. Correct coding is essential. What are the potential consequences of incorrect coding? Failure to code correctly may result in overpayment, underpayment, or denial of a claim. In addition, incorrect coding may result in fines, imprisonment, or both when it is the result of fraud and/or abuse. The financial consequences to a medical practice for incorrect coding can be substantial. It is the coder's responsibility to ensure that coding is applied accurately and that the error-free claims are submitted to third-party payers. Okay, so I want to elaborate on this a little bit. Let's take a look at the second point where it's talking about fines and imprisonment and, fraud and abuse. Now, I want to make it clear that you're not always going to get the correct code the first try. You're not going to go to jail and you're not going to be fined. They're talking about people who are coding things that they're not doing. They're actually breaking the law. They're not talking about, a cardiology coder, for example, me, assigning the wrong CPT code and the insurance sending it back and saying, hey, this is the correct code to match your medical records. We're talking about people who are intentionally breaking the law. So I don't want you to be afraid about that. You're just going to do the very best you can to code correctly the first time so that you can get paid and you don't have to touch that claim again. What types of institutions use CPT codes? Healthcare services are provided such as in physicians' offices, clinics, hospitals, and rehabilitation units. They form the basis for a universal communication system that ensures accuracy and clarity when the procedures and services delivered within the healthcare systems are described. That is what your CPT codes are going to do. They're going to describe the service. Outpatient services for physicians. Now, these are reported electronically in billing systems on the CMS 1500 Universal Paper Form. So this is what a CMS form looks like. This is kind of a chopped up version, and I kind of made it bigger, but this is what a form looks like. It's red and white, and it is an official form. Now, the next slide I'm going to show you is going to indicate where the CPT codes actually go on this form. So let me see if you can see my cursor here, right here. See, it's a 99, it looks like 779. These are your CPT codes right here. CPT codes are found in section 24D on the CMS 1500 form. So this is where we're going to stop our lecture today. We've actually covered objectives 1 through 4. Let's stop the share. Hi. So I know that's a lot of information about the CPT. That's just an introduction. We're going to get to know the CPT more as we go through the week. I do want to show you my CPT manual. This is my manual. And you're going to see there's lots of little tabs just because I like to tab my manual. But actually in your manual, in the front portion here, you're going to have your modifiers and place of service, but you're going to have a page of little tabs. So you're going to want to tab your manual. Red is for E&M, and you're just going to go through and match the section with your tab. Now your surgery section tabs, there's going to be subsections within that section. So just pay attention to the tabs, and if you need more information or more explanation on that, let me know and we can tab together. I hope you enjoyed your first lecture. Have a great day.